Alright guys, we're out here enjoying the first cool snap of the summer, or fall rather, the tail end of the summer, and it is most welcome. So project at hand today is getting back to this trailer right here. We on part 2 we stretched it 6.5 feet, re-ribbed it. We put in ramp bunks, so we got to make some doors for the ramp bunks so they don't come flying out. And we got to get these boards back on here, and of course we have to get some more boards because that's boards for the 16-foot version, and fenders. So what I want to do here is I want to make a heavy-duty drive over fender, and ta-da, look at that, we got some scrap iron that's going to serve the bill. So this is an old jig table with all these tabs. The company used to make aluminum like lawnmower ramps to get in your truck. This is one of the jig tables, so we're going to cut all these tabs off and we're going to rip her right down the middle. She's 22 inches wide, so that'll give us two 11-inch fenders to go here, and it's the perfect length for this to fit over the 3 axles, which we're going to have to deal with the third one a little later. But for right now, we just want to get these fenders on here, get the boards back, and get us some lights. First things first, got to tackle the trailer. So we got some fab and a few other things to do, and let's get on it. Well, that took a little while. This is the underside. Still got a little roughness I got to grind down. I think those tabs were stainless and the torch was not having it. So ended up cutting them off with the grinder wheel, and that was a little too much. I'm sure y'all got the point. So we're going to rip this down the center in half. That'll make my two 11-inch wide fender plates, and then we'll start fabricating some brackets to go over the wheels. Well, I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but it got it done. So we got our two 11-inch fender halves. Still need some cleaning up, but we're getting there. Alright, we're going to take these, and I don't know if I'm going to grind all the tab marks off of it, but we're going to grind the long cut we made, and that'll give us a little bit easier work area than trying to do it on the trailer later. As far as the top goes, for right now I don't really give a damn if the tabs stay there, because we're trying to get this trailer ready to go pick up a truck, and I just need fenders and deck boards and lights right now. So we'll be getting back to it shortly to finish up everything else, but we're just gonna make a leap right now and get this done and go from there. So let's clean it up. Alright, after some torch work and some bandsaw work, this is kind of what we have to. We got a little mock-up of where the drive over angle would be, and there's our fender going out, and again there's going to be a third axle on this trailer, so this is kind of what we're going to have here. And I'm going to show you all the brackets on the other side. So I came up with this little square tubing. That's 3-inch square tubing with a 4-inch channel that'll hold the drive overs. Again, some of this is overkill, but it's what I got laying around and don't want to go tie up a whole bunch of money into it. And you can kind of see the brackets under there. But thing is, I measured from inside to inside. I've got 78.5 inches. And I measured 3 or 4 different 7.3s, and 80 inches would be a lot better to get the front wheels in, especially on the dualies. So I think I can squeeze another inch. So I think I'm going to break these off today, and we're going to do 4-inch instead of 3-inch standoff, and then the height is 8-inch to clear the tires. And so that's what we're going to do this morning. Pop these brackets off. They're just tacked in. I'm going to pop them off, put a 4-inch spacer, and then we'll be able to put them on for good and kind of go from there. Alright guys, so we'll be back on the trailer this morning. Reconfigured these brackets with a 4-inch gap instead of a 3, and we're going to tack them on with the MIG and then burn them in with the stick. And I have the other one staged on the other side ready to go. So we're going to put this on time lapse because I have the big diesel Lincoln is going to be running, and I don't think y'all want to listen to all of that. So let's get these burned on and get some fenders going. Alright guys, I had to regroup, so I put the 450 backed up to the trailer with the hitch locked on. I decided to go ahead and get the whole thing off the ground, because once I get that side done, we got to get over here, and instead of having to move jacks, so I put the air jack on the back, holding the back of the trailer up, and got that supported where it can't go anywhere, and also put the floor jack under here, because 22 feet of trailer will have a little belly in it when you lift it up, just supported on the two ends. So just to keep everything kind of straight and true, make sure my square is square and all that kind of thing, went ahead and got this floor jack under there to take a little bit of the belly out of it, and now we're ready to get back to work. Alright guys, I just got back from in town and came out here and jumped on the trailer again. Realized I was doing some steps and not filming. So if you see the tape measure right here, we're trying to make a drive over fender. So that's what I want to try and do, is have about a 29-inch ramp right there, and then we'll drop down 29 in the front later. So in order to get that figured out, I had to put these couple of pegs in so I knew where the ramp would land, and then I just went ahead and did this. I gotta figure out something for the back. So I just continued similar spacing here to the ones that are already on the trailer in the front, and just to show you guys the quick way to level this out, let me get over here. Sorry for all this walking around. So I got them marked out, and this is the 1-inch standoff because the ramp will hit an inch out. And so what I did is I just marked, these are 4-inch channels, so I just marked them and used a piece of 1x2 or 1/2x2 tubing. All right, it's C-clamped on here, so that gives me a level surface, and then when I clamp this on there, it's all true. So all we got to do is run a square and we're good to go. So this one's already set up, and we're ready to get this this 4-inch put on. So let's get that done. Alright, so all you got to do, we got our level surface here, we got our marks left and right, so we know how to line the channel up. We got our vice grips already preset. Just scoot it over just a little bit. Now it's ready to be tacked in. Not much to it. Got it. Alright, and that's tacked in and ready to be welded with the big machine. Well, that's par for the course. I thought I was time-lapsing, but y'all didn't get to watch me fight an oxygen bottle that was running out. So we got our 2 plates that are going to be the ramps cut off of this, and we're going to pick this up in the morning when we get some daylight. All right, I don't remember where I left off, so let's see. So we're 11 inches wide here, and the little risers that we made are 4-inch. So in order for me to align this out where it needs to be, I need a little extra support or it's just going to flop over. And I also want to have a little kicker to give it some structural support. So what I decided, we're going to take some 2x2 angle and we'll cut it at a 45 where it'll marry to this, and then just come down at an angle and weld to the front of that. So using the tape measure method, or whatever, however you want to call it, we're gonna, let's see, how did I did that? All right, let me get down here where you guys can see. So we're gonna do this 45-degree angle right here and just roughing it. I did this a little while ago, but we need about 14 inches, 13 to 14 inches of angle to make these 4 legs. So I'm gonna go cut 4 pieces, 14-inch, and miter them in the bandsaw and get them on there. I just wanted to get you guys kind of caught up with what we got going on here. So we still got to figure where our third axle is going to be, because I haven't done that yet, and where we're going to cut that. But we're working back to front. So we got a 1-inch overlap at the back of the fender, so we got plenty of good structure there to hold weight. I'm going to have to put a kicker under here because, again, rollover fenders. We got this tacked together, and we've got our 45s that are going to give us some structure on the outside. And again, we'll end up boxing this in later, which will give us a lot of rigidity there too, and some 2-inch angle along the sheet metal for structure. But that's how we're doing it. I don't want to bore y'all with all the details, but just to keep y'all in line with what I'm thinking. And so I'm gonna put back on time lapse, and we're gonna get some of this stuff tacked in. We're tacking with the MIG because it's easier, a little milling machine. And then once we get everything tacked in, we're gonna switch gears to the big dog and burn some 7018 and some 6011s on here, and get this thing rock solid. Alright, so we got our tabs welded on here, finished welding the ramps, the two kicker brackets, scored and bent down the front. It's a little different measurement from that ramp in the front is 24 inches, the one in the back's 29, but we'll have more control pulling stuff off anyway than pulling it on, so I figured that might be better. With the measurements from the in between, I think we'll be rolling most of everything in between, and we're gonna put a skin on the inner to make an inner fender and give it some more rigidity and some angle iron for the outside. Back here we came up with this little setup right here for the ramp doors. So you pop the pin out, slide the ramps up. Trying to do this one-handed. Close her up and drop the pin in, which is supposed to fit. I'm trying to do this one-handed and it is not cooperating. All right, anyhow. All right, so that's the bunks, and we fish plated our couple of welds for where we added on. So everything's going good with this. We'll get back to you in the morning and see what we get on to. All right, guys, well, you can see we're making a little headway here. Some of this I'm not filming every little thing. I don't want to bother y'all with that, and this trailer video is getting kind of long. So I was cutting some 4-inch C-channel for the sides. I've got the one in the back on the ground there cut, and this one I got the one in the back corner cut, and I'm getting ready to start on that one. And then we're gonna have to pick up some boards to accommodate the additional deck that we're gonna need, and do a little bit more welding, get everything on there. It should be usable for a little while until you know, I decide if I want to make any changes. And if everything's good, then you know, at some point here we'll pull the deck boards off and shoot a little paint on her and call her good. Got the back tires off because I have a little spot I need to weld on the underside of the fender, and of course I have this hole right here, which is going to be the third axle. Third axle I bought is going to have to be modified and skinnied up a bit. It's 1.5 feet wider than these, so when I get to that I'll show y'all how I do that. But you know, right now we get 2 axles under it, get the iron done, get the lights on it, and she's usable if we need her. And then as time goes on, we'll put the inner skirts and trim on these fenders before we actually try to do anything driving over wise. But I don't think we will need to do too much driving over on it, but I want to make them heavy duty enough to where if I need to haul a building or something that needs to sit on them, we'll be in good shape. So again, sides today, possibly spotting where these D-rings are going to go, and then some more deck boards, and hopefully we'll be getting into lights after that. Well, looks like I'm calling an audible. So when you're trying to make something on a existing project, sometimes you can't go the direction you want. So most store-bought trailers today, on the edges, they have the boards tucked under the channel iron. And with the layout of the way my channel iron is, you can see the 4-inch on the flat there sticking out, which is where these sides are going on. This edge right here is not sitting good to me. I could make a transition, but it's not happening. I'm not feeling it. Although certain things like here in the back is going to tie in nice, and this will give a nice tuck in for the lumber. Sorry about the wind, guys, but that's just the way it is today. So I'm going to show you what I'm actually thinking about going with. Is a little different idea, and I think it'll work better and look better. So I mocked up one of these, and the way this is, the board could sit on the top, but I'm going to have D-rings on the side, and the chain is going to be rubbing on the board. So I think I may take these 2x12s and just let them sit right here, And this is going to give me a nice clean transition from the yoke or the front hitch to the side, instead of it being up 2 inches, which would work better for the wood but not look good for the metal. And then that's going to give me a much better transition into the fender. So I think we're going to go with that. And I'm not going to get too long-winded on that right now because of the wind out here, so y'all don't have to listen to all that racket. But I think we're going to make that change, and we're going to fix these into the situation like that.